Right, today we are ranking all JoJo's parts. Anime only, even though there is some manga in here, but anime only because I have only watched the anime and read part 6. Did not watch the part 6 anime. Without further ado, let's get started. First things first, we have a LARP category. I do not have an F tier. We have a LARP category. There is no JoJo's part that is F. We have a LARP category because there's 2 parts that I have not nor read or watched. I only read 29 chapters of Steel Ball Run, so Steel Ball Run is going in the LARP category. I have not finished it. It's going to be a while before I finish it because I honestly have to beat the anime at this point, which is not very hard to do since the next part is coming out in fucking October. So, next up we have JoJolion, which is also going in the LARP category. Boom! LARP category for JoJolion. Part 8. Have not watched nor read, only played with the characters in Knights of Heaven and All-Star Battle R. I cannot read part 8 because part 7 has not concluded, and I am not no part skipper. We watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9 in order around here, buddy. We are no part skippers. They get their ass beat around here. So, without further ado, we are going to be starting with Phantom Blood. Part 1 of JoJo's main character, Jonathan Joestar. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. I am ranking Phantom Blood. Hear me out. I am ranking Phantom Blood in the C tier. Hear me out. Listen, Phantom Blood had the potential to be one of the more interesting parts in the anime. But unfortunately, to me personally, the reason why Phantom Blood is in the C tier is because of Jonathan Joestar. I think Jonathan Joestar is not the most interesting JoJo in the world. Am I saying he's disinteresting? No, by whatever means. But compared to the other 8 JoJos, he is not that interesting. And Drono is a very low bar. Being honest. I think he hindered this part to his max potential. And there's a lot of episodes, even though there's only 9 episodes, dedicated to Jonathan Joestar instead of either Zeppeli or Dio. And those are my favorite characters in the entire part. Everybody loves Jonathan and Dio. We all do. But that's who we wanted to be highlighted in Phantom Blood. I get it. It's Jonathan's story. The story's named after him. Joestar's. I even have the fucking tattoo. I have the star on my goddamn shoulder, so I'm no LARP. The story's about him, and unfortunately, it was about him. So, shout out to Jonathan. Respectful gentleman. One of the best Joestars in the goddamn series. But remember, there's 8 more, and to be honest, he's not the worst Joestar. I'll be honest. But, he's not better than a lot of Joestars. I think I have... we'll get to that in a bit. Next up, we have... Oh my god, this root beer is really fucking me up, bro. Maybe that's me ranking the Phantom Blood at C tier getting up to me. Next up, we have Phantom Blood. Part 2 of JoJo's main character, Part 2 of JoJo's Phantom Blood, main character Joseph Joestar, grandson of Jonathan Joestar. I am going to rank Phantom Blood, Battle Tendency of Part 2 JoJo's in S tier. Let me state my reason why. Part 2 of JoJo's is an S tier simply because of Joseph Joestar. Joseph Joestar alone deadass carries this entire part. And I'm not even going to get to his side cast. His amazing side cast, his amazing side villains, and his amazing main villain. JoJo's Part 2 is exactly what a battle shonen should be. I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, this is one of the greatest battle shonens of all fucking time. Funny, charismatic, action-filled, witty, intellectual manga right here. One of the greatest parts in the entire anime. The only reason why I say this is not one of the best parts in the anime is because it does start off just a tad bit slow, and on top of that, Hamon can be a little limiting. I'm not gonna lie. Hamon is a little limiting. I fucks with Hamon though. I believe that the creativity cap was definitely reached for part 2. Do I believe that Araki could have squeezed out a little bit more out of Hamon? Yes, I believe he should have did that in part 3. I think part 3 should have been half Hamon, half stands, but I can understand the complete transition of the entire anime and its power system. But nonetheless, part 2 is at an S tier because not only are the characters amazing, the plot is amazing. Cars is an amazing villain. ECDC is an okay side villain. Wamu is a terrific side villain. Santana is an okay side villain. Shoheim is a great side character. Um, Caesar is a great side character. Lisa is a good side character. And that just all helps towards the argument that Battle Tendency belongs in the S tier. I'm being completely fucking honest. I don't think there's many mangas inside this part that are better than Battle Tendency. But I will say there are definitely cooler characters later on in the series. So we shall get to that. Next up, we have part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders. Main character, my favorite, Jotaro Kujo. I am putting Stardust Crusaders. It's definitely above Phantom Blood, but I wouldn't say it's A. Stardust Crusaders is a B. I fuck with Stardust Crusaders. I think Stardust Crusaders is very good. It's my favorite part out of the series. But I just rewatched part 3 Stardust Crusaders with my girlfriend recently, a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I'll be honest, this anime drags on. It drags on. I think the first part, the first 24 episodes are very, very interesting. The battle in Egypt, I think that could have been cut down a lot longer. Or a lot shorter. Alright? I believe that part could have been cut a lot shorter. Especially the last 8 episodes, it drags on and on and on and on and on and on. But the reason why it's B tier, you know what? I'll be honest. Yo, this is going into A tier. This has the greatest fucking anime fight of all time. Jotaro versus Dio. I can recite Jotaro versus Dio word for word, bar for bar, simply because of how iconic it is. And secondly, it gave us one of the greatest manga panels of all time. Whatever you call the third reason, it gave us one of the best ultimates in anime history, the Road Ruler. Road Ruler is deadass one of the most iconic moments in manga history, and I fuck with Dio so much in part 3. Did he not get did he get the justice that he deserves, or did he really have a lot of appearances in the anime? No, he did not. But his short appearance made a big impact. It made a lot of memes, and it made a lot of mangas copy their format of styles when it comes to fighting. Dio could have easily annihilated Jotaro with strength, brute strength, and a better stand, but it was a battle of wits because Jotaro is also smart. Dio, spoilers, being able to stop time made Jotaro get a little creative despite the fact that he could move and stop time, but being able to move and stop time is not enough when you're going against a vampire with a stand that can stop time for basically twice as long as you can while he's improving. So, I'm going to keep JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Part 3 in A tier simply because of Jotaro vs. Dio. It belongs in B tier due to the overall part, but Jotaro vs. Dio is one of the most iconic fights in anime history, so I'm putting it in A tier. Next up, which I'm currently rewatching right now with my girlfriend. Diamond is Unbreakable, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. Main character, Josuke Higashikata. I'm putting Part 4 of JoJo's in the A tier. I was going to put it in the S tier. I'll be honest. I was going to put it in the S tier, but the reason why it's not in the S tier is because there's a very big gap between when Kira gets his identity changed to when he gets found. There are a lot of boring episodes. A lot of boring episodes. And you have to be honest with yourself. You got Boys to Men, you got a Cheap Trick, you got the gambling episode with Josuke and Kishibe Rohan. You got them going to Kira's house and then them fighting with his dad and then his dad shooting arrows all over the place. It's not the most interesting part to me. I'm being genuinely honest. But those episodes leading up to Kira's identity being changed and the last episodes where Josuke is fighting Kira and then the conclusion of the part, especially Hayato's battles with Kira when he's getting bites of dust that Kira's back is against the wall. I think that is the more interesting parts of this anime. So I'm going to put JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, main character Josuke Higashikata, in the A tier. Bro, they ruined Lil O's set so badly. I heard. I seen it on Twitter. Next up, Next up. Oh, why the fuck part 3 over part 4? This is in order. My bad. I'll put part 4 over part 3. I forgot they're in the same tier. It looks like that I put part 3 over part 4. Yes, part 4 is over part 3, but I put it in order. That is my fault. Next up, we got part 5 of JoJo's Golden Wind, main character, Giorno Giovanna, hashtag / Haruno Shiobana, whatever you want to call him, Dio's son with Jonathan's dick. Weird connection to the Joestar bloodline. I'm going to put part 5 of JoJo's in A tier. I'll be honest. Or my bad, S tier. My bad. We're putting Golden Wind in S tier. Golden Wind is one of the greatest parts of all time. At first, I did not like this part when I first watched it. I'll be genuinely fucking honest with you. I did not like this part when I first watched it. But when I reviewed it, went backtracked, hopefully when I rewatch, I'll like it even more. I got over the fact that Giorno is not one of the most interesting main characters. But his side cast, bro, they cover up for the fact that, dude, Giorno is one of the most boring fucking main characters of all time. He makes Jonathan look interesting. I hate Giorno with all my life. I don't like his wits. They seem cheap and ass-pullish. But Mista being one of my favorite side characters in the park, Bruno being one of my favorite side characters in the park, and better yet, my favorite part of the entire goddamn serialization, Diavolo. I think Diavolo is my favorite, probably the best JoJo villain of all time. I think he is crystal clear. I think he's diamond cut. He's green, man. He's simple to understand. He is just greedy and he is wrathful. And I love that. I really do love that. Being around Diavolo, which you barely get the opportunity to, basically means imminent death. I love that. Diavolo, when you're around Kira, if you're in his presence, there's a chance you may not die. When you're around Dio, there's a chance you may not die. When you're around Cars, there's definitely a chance you may not die. But when it comes to Diavolo, if you're in his presence, you will die. That is one of my favorite parts of Diavolo. I think his design was cool. I think his reveal was cool. I think his power was cool. Being able to skip time, read through time. Epitaph was one of the greatest parts. He had split personality disorder. And he had Doppio. Like, dude, I think Diavolo is one of the greatest JoJo's villains of all time. I'll put part 5 over... I'll put it over part 2. I'm sorry. I absolutely love part 5 of JoJo's because the side cast outside of Giorno is one of the greatest fucking set of characters to ever come to manga and shonen history. Notice how you ain't say Poochie because I haven't gotten to part 6. And then we'll be done with this video once I explain part 6. Part 6 of JoJo's, where it ranks. Part 6 of JoJo's. Where part 6 of JoJo's ranks. This is the last part that I have to rank because I have not read part 7, nor have I read parts 8. I have only read 29 chapters of part 7. So, without further ado, we're ranking part 6 of JoJo's. Part 6 of JoJo's, for me personally, ranks right behind Diamond is Unbreakable. And I'm gonna move part 3 back to B tier. Part 6 of JoJo's, I don't care what anybody says. I love Jolene. I am not a sexist. I love Jolene. I think Jolene had one of the craziest set of villains that she ever had to go against. I think those villains would have easily handled the rest of the Joestar bloodline, if I'm being completely honest. She had no business getting those stands because she only has Stone Free or I think that's her name. I think there's so many mistranslations now because of the English translation having to change the names due to copyright infringement. But I believe that she had no business going against those stands with Stone Free. Jolene is one of the greatest JoJo's of all time. I wish she got more respect from the fandom, but you understand that comic fans and manga fans and anime fans are sexist. I think Jolene is very, very interesting. Her side cast, Foo Fighters, despite the fact that she's not even supposed to have that much character, because she's copying other people, because she's an android, or microorganism, whatever you want to call it. She's a microorganism, and she's supposed to be copying other human beings, and to me, she has more character than half of the JoJo's roster. Then you got Hermes, my black queen. We love our Afro-Latina queens. One of the baddest women in the part, not because only she's bad, but because she's generally one of the more interesting people. Shout out to her sister, and she got revenge for her sister. And then on top of that, she has one of the craziest and creative stands in the entire series. She made one of the weakest stands, on paper at least, stat-wise, one of the strongest stands in the series, especially when they were going against Bohemian Rhapsody and Poochie. She made the most use out of that shit. Where's the other stand? With the McQueen one? I forget what it's called. It's something McQueen. But she made the most use out of Kiss. Kiss is one of the most interesting, most creative stands in the entire series, and I fucking love it. I think Hermes is one of the greatest side characters in the entire part. Right behind Jotaro, of course, because my goat Jotaro is better than everybody in the series. Then we have the main villain, Poochie. Poochie. We love Poochie. Poochie around here, my black king, had a very, very weird motive. It didn't seem like it was really his motive. But he was very, very loyal to Dio. And he got manipulated by the fact that he is a hardcore Christian. And Dio said he was able to achieve heaven. In Poochie's eyes, being able to achieve heaven as a Christian is a little bit of the, on the social hierarchy of, God sent. So, Dio was very, very lucky to manipulate Poochie to get what he wants. Poochie is one of the greatest villains of all time. He was basically, chasing a motive that wasn't his, but he was dedicated to it by any means necessary. I think Poochie is one of the most powerful villains in the series. Honestly, the most powerful villain in the series. And he's one of the most motivated villains in the entire series. And on top of that, spoiler warning, he actually completed his motive. I think that is very, very cool. It's not met very often that you get to see villains win and win against the superheroes of their story. And Poochie was able to do it. Shout out to Poochie. I wish he got to live to see through the rest of the part. But, Emporio the GOAT had to handle business. My GOAT 10-year-old living inside a piano. But I don't care. That's my GOAT. He may be homeless, but he's still my GOAT. Don't care what anybody says. I don't care for Anastasia. I think Anastasia's weird. He's very, very weird. But, Diver Down is pretty cool, though. I will be honest. Diver Down is pretty cool. He kind of reminds me of Overhaul from My Hero Academia. I don't know how to explain it. But, that concludes the JoJo's tier list. Once again, Part 5 at S tier, number 1. I think Part 5 is the best part of the entire series. Battle Tendency after Part 5. Part 4 is after Battle Tendency at A tier. Part 6 is in A tier right after Part 4. Stardust Crusaders Part 3 is in B tier in a class of its own. C tier is Phantom Blood. And then the LARP category, we have Steel Ball Run and JoJolion. That concludes my JoJo's tier list. It is set. It is final. Argue with the wall. Talk to me in the comments if you need to. If you disagree, which I know you do because my list is a little weird, you can talk to me in the comments. But as of right now, this is the greatest tier list of all time, and you can argue with the wall. That concludes that YouTube video. I'm going to go take a piss.